All right, we're back. We're talking to Dana White and Mike Tyson. Thank you guys for being here. Nice applause. That was really helpful. You know, I've tried to do this a little differently. Like, I don't want it to be too TV-ish, but when I bring the guests back, you don't have to stare at us like uncomfortably, because that really made us all uncomfortable, I think. Mike, did you ever, before you fought, did you ever have a regular, because I know you got involved in a lot of crime when you were a kid. Did you ever have like a legit job before you boxed or a regular?
Never a day in my life.
Never?
Only thing I ever did legitimately and got paid for it for the first time was boxing.
It was your first job?
Yes.
And you were a bellman, which I was kind of amazed reading this, that you and the other guys would have an interesting way of settling tip disputes.
Yeah. We used to go in the closet and beat the shit out of each other, yeah. That's a true story in Boston. Yeah, I used to work at the Boston Harbor Hotel. I was a bellman when I was 18, 19 years old.
And
yeah, Mike never worked at Subway or anything. You know?
No way. I snatched some sandwiches, though. I snatched some sandwiches.
What is box aerobics?
Yeah, I did that too.
What is that?
I used to teach boxing classes. You know, pretty much every fighter out there who is trying to make it does some sort of, you know, it pays the bills. Pays the bills.
UFC gym, right? My wife trains in a UFC gym.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Easton. The one in Easton. UFC.
Do you really want your wife learning jiu-jitsu, though? I mean, that's...
She loves it.
She does, right?
Yeah, she loves it.
That's scary.
What am I going to say, really?
You got to say yes.
What am I going to say?
But I've had moments with girlfriends where literally, like, my ex-girlfriend, I fucked up one time and she caught me dirty texting someone else. And I'm like, if she knew jiu-jitsu, like, I knew she would have ripped my cock off.
My wife said that. My wife said, I wish I could beat you. You know, if I could beat you, I would just, boom, just kick your ass and just, shut up.
Do you think, why, there's times when she gets very frustrated with you?
Well, I mean, I'm a very difficult guy to live with.
I can't see that. Now, are you guys, both of you guys, are you strict with your kids, disciplinarian type guys, or are you kind of like, sometimes like, you know, fighters and stuff go the opposite way?
I'm very conscious of my kids' conduct in society. You know, we live in this society where people are entitled, especially if a kid is fortunate enough to be in a position where he didn't come from a place like where I came from. You have to be very, very conscious because then we're in this generation of being entitled, and people have to know how to work hard. You know, no one's going to give you anything. There was no such thing as a free meal. You know, and I just want my kids to know that.
Yeah. You want them to kind of know, like, you know, you have no idea how easy you have it compared to like where you came from.
And listen, they go to these upscale schools and the bourgeois friends, they have no idea. His uncle's a former assistant governor, you know, he has no idea. He has no idea what's really, he never, my son never went a day without eating unless he didn't want to. None of my kids ever did that. They don't know what being hungry like. They don't know what it's like to steal and all that stuff. And they just don't know. They have no idea. But they still think they're tough. They still think they're cool and know what's happening.
And what do you guys do, I'll ask both of you, to kind of calm yourself? Because you're both like really adrenaline-driven guys. Like, and I know you have your addictions, and Dana, I know you're a very, very hard to slow down guy, you know. What do you do just to kind of keep calm and stop from just going off a cliff?
I never chill out. I don't know.
I like PlayStation 4. I play PlayStation, what's that duty?
The what?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
I like to kill the zombies. The zombies are cool.
So video games kind of centers you and like just kind of gets you out of your head a little bit?
Well, you know, it's married, like I can't do nothing else. I go to my little playroom and I just hang out.
Yeah, I wonder that about you too, because I know, like, you know, you're not doing, you know, you had some very extreme stuff, and you know, the drugs and the sex and all of that stuff. So it's like, what do you do to fill the time? Because that takes up a lot of time, you know. And when you're not doing that, what do you?
I do my shows. You know, I go do these. I do my boxing shows. I do my Undisputed Truth shows. I'm getting ready to go to Saudi Arabia, do the show. Then go to Scandinavia, do the show. Then we're gonna go to Europe. We're gonna do that tour bit. Then I go do my meet and greet where I smile and talk to people. And, hey, guy, you know, and it's just all right, listen, Me and Jamie Foxx are gonna do a movie about me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's Jamie playing? Is he playing you?
Yes, it is very interesting that you say that because I know you're gonna say, well, Jamie's almost older than you. How he's gonna play you? See, it was a movie called Benjamin Button. Remember that movie, Benjamin
Yeah.
Button? And so they got a new, they have a new gadget where they can make him younger, like they made Brad Pitt younger. And so Jamie's gonna look younger, so he's gonna play a younger me when he's older.
I was thinking more of Jamie, not even age-wise, but more the body, like, because you're such a powerful guy.
No, but the movie, you know, he's gonna go, you know, he'll do some steroids, he'll eat some, he'll eat some pork, he'll do all that stuff, some potatoes, you know, and do all that stuff and lift some weights. And because he did that movie Resurrection when he played, I think it was the gentleman that Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, the guy that died, Tookie Smith, I believe. Tookie Williams, the gang-affiliated gentleman.
Oh, didn't they execute him?
Yes, they did.
They did, yeah, it was
yes,
death
they
note,
did. And so he was buffed in, so he's gonna try to get buffed again.
Oh, I didn't know he played him. Yeah, he was I've seen photos of him. He was a very big dude.
Pretty big.
And the steroids, you mentioned steroids, and I don't know, I'm sure this is a different thing, but you guys in UFC are constantly getting tested and constantly, and you just, the main card for Son and Silva is done. Can you kind of talk about what happened there? Because I love Chael, and he retired from UFC very abruptly, from mixed martial arts.
So they used to allow TRT, testosterone replacement therapy in Nevada, and all the other commissions did too. And it was just causing a lot of problems, a lot of confusion. Guys were, you know, they found this thing where if you're older, if you're like mine and Mike's age, you could, you know, get the testosterone levels back up to a young male. And of course, if this much is good for you, guys always have the feeling, well, this must be great.
Right.
So guys were abusing it, and so they ended up making it illegal. They banned it. And what we didn't do and what the commission didn't do, I think, you know, we both did a bad job of managing these guys once they got off. Because once you get off this stuff and you've been on it for years, there are side effects to what, you know, certain things can happen to you if you don't take other pills and other drugs to counteract. For instance, a man, if he doesn't take estrogen blockers after getting off that stuff, can grow breasts and all kinds of creepy shit like that.
Well,
so,
I have mixed feelings about that.
Yeah. So that's what Chael Sonnen tested positive for, was estrogen blockers, and he was trying to get his wife pregnant, so he was on, you know, fertility medicine, and he just said, you know what, if I have to choose between my personal health and fighting,
He's got to take the
I'm
health.
going to choose my health.
And Vanderlei, they went to...
Vanderlei's a different story. The Nevada State Athletic Commission showed up to drug test Vanderlei, and he ran. So...
And you don't mean metaphorically ran. You mean...
He literally ran. He ran out the back door, jumped in his car and said he didn't speak English and drove away. And I've had many conversations with Vanderlei Silva. He speaks English. So...
Wow, that's a trip. I was always, when I was fighting, I was always scared of the AIDS test. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, I ain't taking that fucking test. Ain't gonna be no fight. I ain't taking no damn test, fucking mother. I was with that prostitute last week. You crazy? My rubber broke. I ain't making no damn test.
Rubber broke?
Yeah.
Look, I'm impressed that you wore one. I do. I just fucking threw them away. I'm like, yeah, if it's meant to be, because I like to gamble too, you know? Come on, healthy. Yeah, it's kind of fun to talk about the old sex stuff, but...
Oh, man.
You talked about too, and you had one of the best terms for it, like with the prostitute. I think it was in your book. Did you say level normal? Is that how you phrased that?
No, base.
Base normal?
My bottom normal. Baseline normal.
Baseline normal, which is like that threshold of just feeling normal, which is so much higher than for normal people.
Yeah, you know, being sober, you're like, fuck, you still got that feeling. Am I gonna do it today? No, I better go to a meeting.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's difficult stuff sometimes. How do people live like that? You know, sometimes I think I was born high, you know, and I said, what the hell? I'm like Cold Turkey Joe.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a rough. Like I didn't know you were doing drugs. Like it didn't surprise me the sex stuff, but I had no idea when you were fighting. Like I read the book and you talk about carrying a duffel bag of coke and doing like a tremendous amount of blood. I had no idea.
Well, when you're doing that stuff, the sex is not as much fun if you don't get the drugs. You don't want to have sex if you don't have the drugs. Then your imagination could be heightened to think about, hey, let's get a donkey in here or something. I don't know.
I'm telling you, man, Mike Tyson has lived a life of a fucking 1,000 people, man. I've known him for years. When we hang out, it's like every time we hang out, it's like a 4-hour. I interview him the whole time I'm with him, and the stories he has, and they're just forever. And if you guys have never seen his show, and you're even this much of a Mike Tyson fan, it's awesome. His stand-up show is awesome.
Because it really is. It's amazing. It's.
I'm just very grateful. I'm gonna try to. I have a great deal of gratitude because there's no way I'm not supposed to be dead or with AIDS or with West Nile virus or whatever it is. I'm just holy shit.
But it's honest, and that's the beauty of it. It's like you watch this and you never feel like, oh, someone's giving me the company line. It's like, wow, this guy is being so fucking truthful.
Oh, it's insane.
But it's
true.
There's no judgment in it.
There's no filter on Mike Tyson, man.
No, not at all. On a talk show, he just said, "I think about fucking a donkey." I mean, I think that's. I think that's. Even I've never said that.
No, 'cause really, what's the luck that you're in a room with two guys, a guy and a girl, and you're all, and we're both with this girl, and they both die of AIDS, and I survived, and it's the bouncer from this club. Listen, and there's a bouncer from this club that knew these people, and he knew we was in that car, and he still thinks I got AIDS to this day. The boy looking looked a little bit of weight, Mike. He said, that girl and Joe died of AIDS, right? I said, yeah, I heard. But
So he thinks that you.
Yeah, but I ducked that bullet, dude.
Yeah.
Ducked that bullet.
I remember one time I was with a
bullet ducker.
Yeah, you're definitely a bullet ducker. I've ducked a few too. I mean, some of them have wound up on my back. But let's just say, but I was with a buddy of mine, and this was sober. A buddy of mine, Bill, and I picked up a prostitute together, and she was a street girl from New Brunswick. And I remember Bill went first, and then it was my turn. And I couldn't get an erection. I don't know why, maybe because I've always struggled with that. And I couldn't get an erection, and I was, pissed off and depressed, and then Bill wound up dying of AIDS. And I look back like, wow, I'm not saying I would have gotten it, but like sometimes you realize like, wow, did I get lucky? And that's only
Pretty
one
damn
that
sure you would have gotten it.
Yeah, listen, guys like me and you, right? God's gonna leave us around and let our head kill us.
Yeah.
To let our mind, oh no.
Yeah.
That's why the best thing ever happened to me that I got married, because if I wasn't married, I would just have no boundaries. I'd be just hanging from the goddamn Tarzan cheetah thing. I don't know. Shoot. No boundaries. I'd probably be in a reality show.
And not a good one. You mean one that's almost an exploited reality show that just...
Big time with fucking, what's those things, what's those girls and things, those Speedos or something,
I missed that one.
Yeah.
I didn't see that show.
Well, the thing about it is like, once you're not doing something, like I said, you fill the time with video games or other stuff. That's a high. Does your baseline normal drop a little bit? Like when you stop doing stuff, do you feel like, all right, I can breathe a little bit now. I don't have to do that to maintain just the feeling of being normal.
Well, I'm reaching that level now, but sometimes you get anxiety. Like, whoa, what's next? Your heart starts beating. You're looking around. God damn, what can I do? The whole objective is that I was just addicted to chaos. Being an addict, and that addict in you, what it wants to do, it wants you it wants to kill you or wants you to be miserable. It'd be happy with you being miserable, but the objective is to kill you. And I'm fighting that battle. I don't really want to go both ways. I don't want to be miserable, even though that's going to happen anyway. I'm just going to be a miserable son of a bitch.
But isn't it weird, the stuff that doesn't kill you, like you said, that's God leaves it, it's going to be in our head. Like, I'm not going to die of getting hit by a bus or of AIDS. It's going to be because I throw myself off the GW bridge because I fucking bombed at the Comedy Cellar one night.
Nobody loves me! Nobody loves me! I'm going to die!
Oh, I am valueless. This is like fucking... Ugh.
That's real talk.
Yeah, it's and it's irrational, and it's irrational, but it doesn't matter if you know it. It's like it doesn't feel it in those moments. And then when those moments are gone, you're like, what the fuck was I thinking, like, why am I so nuts? Why am I not grateful?
I don't know. It's hard to be grateful sometimes, 'cause, you know, it's we've been at darker places. This is a great place right now. You know, we're in the light right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In order to enjoy the light, you have to be in that dark cellar sometimes. This is the light. We're here together, man. It doesn't get any better than this when you think about it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I think one of the most amazing things, and you know, and I saw Dana yesterday, and we talked about Mike and the book and how incredible it was. And there's a part in the end, like in the epilogue, where you talk about all these trials and tribulations, and then you talk about like just these negative feelings and feeling suicidal and self-hating, and the fact that you exposed that, I was like, how many people in public life come out and say that stuff and just tell you, look, this is where it's at for me at times, and are you still getting those feelings, or have that kind of passed as you've hung in there for a little longer and being sober?
Oh man, I still have those thoughts of feeling sorry for myself. I don't know how I'm gonna overcome that. How does that happen? I've been that way all my life, and I still succeed to do. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. I have no idea what that's all about. You know, I just know as people, as we are as people, nobody's who they appear to be. Like, look at me. We're just not who we appear to be. You know.
Well, you're a much sweeter guy, and it's odd, but like watching the one-man show, you the humor, and like you made fun of yourself for saying a word wrong. I never would have made fun of you for that, but I mean, you made fun of yourself and I was like, it was such a great sense of humor, and it was like that was the part. And maybe as a heavyweight fighter, you can't show that when you're ready to do combat. You can't show that you're a funny, like loving guy. But I think that's my favorite part of you, like, since all this has happened, is like this other side of you that people get to see.
I don't know, you know, like being a fighter, you know, then you're just so insecure because this is the only, even though you're successful and you're, you know, it's sensational what you do, most fighters are the most humble people in the world because they've gotten their ass kicked before.
Right.
You know, so they really know the aspect of being humble, you know, that this could happen no matter how good you are. This could possibly happen. And this is the kind of sport where you're getting, like, when you think about the UFC, the reason why boxing is really took a real serious back step to UFC because those, and I know this doesn't sound politically correct, those guys don't want to hurt each other. When you watch guys fight, they don't want to hurt each other. Floyd, they don't want to hurt each other. When you watch UFC, these guys want to hurt each other. And that's what we want to see. If you're in their fight, we want to see you hurt somebody. You're not in there to dance with somebody. You're not even to, you know, to do the tango twist with anybody. They want to hurt, and that's what fighting's about. You want your man's his surrender, his total destruction, and that's what boxing, you know, has just took a back step to, because these guys they don't have that that desire to really do that anymore.
Dana, I credit you so much with the attitude of the UFC fighters because the fights we want to see. One thing in boxing I noticed that we don't see the fights that we want to see. Like, you know, everyone wants to see like Mayweather, Pacquiao. Like a lot of times those big fights you don't see, but in UFC you see those fights always.
And they're exciting.
And it's exciting, and there's always more that you want to see. And when the fight sucked, you come out like this last card. You come right out and go like that fight sucked, and that's really shocking to hear a promoter say.
Yeah, well, I grew up in that era where every time you heard a guy coming out and talking, no matter whether it was from a company or a sports organization, they were reading canned statements that lawyers wrote, and you know they are. You know, if you see a shitty fight, how the hell are you going to try to talk to somebody until they saw a great fight? You know when you see a great fight, and you know when you don't. So I'm just pretty honest about it. But at the end of the day, I'm a huge fan. I'm a fight fan too. I'm not just, you know, some guy out trying to sell you a bunch of bullshit. I want to see the great fights. I want to go to an event on Saturday night and leave there as excited as the fans are. So the thing is with the guys like Mike is as human beings, we're fascinated by who the toughest guys in the world are. We are. I say this all the time. If you think of all sports, right? And people in here are probably football fans, baseball, basketball, whatever it is. And take Jordan, who's probably arguably the most famous player of all times. You know, do people really know Jordan all over the world, in every little country, in every, Wayne Gretzky, the list goes on and on. It's like, right, I'd like anybody, and maybe this will be the first time it'll ever happen. If somebody in here, tell me who the greatest cricket player on earth is. Nobody? Yeah, I didn't think so.
How great would it be if he was here?
Yeah.
And then he just went and killed himself.
I've done that a million times, and not one person's ever said, I know who the greatest cricket player is. But my point is, you walk anywhere in the world, everybody knows Mike Tyson. Everybody knows Muhammad Ali. Bruce Lee died in the early 70s. Does anybody in this room not know who Bruce Lee is? Everybody knows who Bruce Lee is. He died in the 70s.
And it's not like they're promoting him. It's not like anybody's promoting him.
As human beings, we're fascinated by who the toughest guy in the world is. It's always been that way from the days of the Roman gladiators. You know, I always have this thing where I say, I can throw all kinds of stats and bullshit at you about the UFC that's true and all these things, but here's something that I don't know if this is true, but it's what I truly believe, and it's what we built this company on. I believe that before a man threw a ball through a circle, before a man hit a ball with a stick, two men were put on this earth, somebody threw a punch, and whoever was standing around ran over and watched. Fighting is the first sport ever, and it will be the last sport ever. It'll be around till the day we die, till the earth no longer exists. Fighting will always be here.
Yeah.
But we love fighting. Fighting feels, you know, even if fighting feels good. Even if you're in a losing battle and you're fighting, the fact that you're in there and you're fighting, it feels good that I'm doing this.
See, I'm just the opposite. I think watching fighting is fun, but being a part of it sucks. It scares me.
But it scares everybody. It scares everybody. I don't give a fuck who you are or what you do. When a fight breaks out, there's that holy shit, that nervous energy that takes over the room. And fighting is what really, everybody feels it. I don't care who you are.
I would watch old footage of guys when they were fighting you, and it was like anybody is scared in a fight, I'm sure. I mean, sure, you had your nerves when you were walking into the ring. But those guys, like, visibly looked frightened. And I'm watching these, and I know it's not going to...
Jim, I'm more frightened than them, because they're bigger, and so my mind could play more tricks with me than theirs, but it's who can control it the best. Who can control that feeling, and that's what the discipline comes in. It's all about discipline, you know. The strongest guy don't win, the biggest guy don't win when you're at that level of boxing. When you're at the top level of the echelons of boxing, only the smartest guy wins.
Well, did you hear George Foreman talk about Frazier? And he said that, and he destroyed Joe Frazier, but he was scared of him. And he said that his legs were shaking during the actual weigh-in, or the whatever, the stare down.
If you're not in a fight, and if you're in a fight and you're not afraid, either you're absolutely insane. You know, you have to be insane because there's a possibility you can get hurt.
You got to be Mitch Blood Green, right?
Oh, man. He was high.
Or that.
Yeah, he was high.
Have you seen Mitch since the one-man show? Has he seen it?
No, I haven't seen him. We don't know what Mitch is doing these days, you know?
The Mitch Blood Green story is the greatest story ever told.
We hope Mitch is still around.
Yeah.
I love that story. The best.
In your one-man show, you talk about, like, this guy might even show up, but, like, he actually had you worried at one point because
because listen, every time I'm somewhere, this guy's popping up. You know, I'm in the hospital because of my car accident. They said, Mike, look outside. I look out my hospital window. It's a crowd, and there's the president. He's giving an interview calling me, I'm tagging that Cicely Tyson, homo Mike Tyson. Holy shit.
For those of you that don't know the Mitch Blood Green story, he fought Mitch Blood Green, and he beat him. Then he like terrorized Mike for years. Would show up at dinners, at restaurants, and would try to fight him all the time. So Mike's getting fitted for a suit one night. There's this place, where was it, in the Bronx?
In Harlem.
In Harlem, all right. In Harlem where...
You know where you buy them, those knockoff stuff.
Right. And he said this place, it was a place where you would go get fitted for suits, and it was open at 3, 4 in the morning. And he said, that might sound weird to you, but pimps, rappers, and everybody else would go get suited at this place, so that's why it was open that late. And he said Mitch Blood Green came walking in one day and started, you know, calling him all kinds of names. And he said he was like a zombie. He said he hit him, and he broke his hand when he hit him. And he knocked him, he said he knocked him out dead. And then he gets up like Jason he said every time he knocked him out.
When I knock him out, I'm scared, so let's get to the car. Next thing I know, boom, 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 boom. What the fuck? I didn't even believe this shit. My right hand on my children, like he out. And I said, let's get out. He was walking, next thing you know, dun, 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 dun.
Like he keeps knocking this guy out, and the guy keeps getting up and chasing after him out to the thing, and then the game changer is he rips the mirror off Mike Tyson's Rolls Royce, and Mike has to get out and knock him out again before he drives away. But
I was gonna let him get rid of that. I was gonna let him get rid of that. Gonna take my little Royce and break the window off, break the little mirror, the side mirror, right? Yeah, ripped it off.
Is that scary too when you knock a guy out And he doesn't get up like, all right, like when he gets up and he's like, oh, now I'm ready to really fight. That's a fucking psychologically frightening thing.
No, it didn't bother me. It's when I heard his head hit the concrete, boop, and he shit on himself a little bit, and stuff was coming out of his mouth, and that's when I got worried. That's when I got worried. I thought, oh no, back in jail again.
And how about Robin Gibb? Because in the one-man show and in the book, you talk a great deal about Robin, and it's really, really funny. Like, you know, we all remember the uncomfortable Barbara Walters interview where she threw you under the bus. And,
I mean, that wasn't a bus. That was like a mega super train that we got in Vegas. You know, it threw me under my dumb ass. Just a dumb motherfucker. It's must be getting caught up with these crazy ass women.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it was dumb though. I mean, it's one of those things that any of us could get. It's like any of us, you know, just fighters like me and I really should. Just cut me out of this show. You have a cartoon. Could you talk about your cartoon? Because I had no idea this was happening.
Yes, guys. Mike Tyson's Mysteries. It's like a takeoff. I'm serious. It's like a takeoff of Scooby-Doo. Remember Scooby-Doo and the gang? And instead of being a dog, the partner, I have a pigeon. It's really, and listen, I think it's really good. I didn't think it was gonna be good. I was just gonna grab a little 10,000 of a show. But when I saw it and I actually saw the footage and stuff, it was really exciting.
You say 10,000 a show? I need a new fucking agent. That's very nice.
Where's it airing?
In October.
In October, and now
Adult Swim. So it'll be slight. It's pretty much documented for the stoners, you know. So it'll be a stoner demographic.
And who I think all of Adult Swim is a stoner demographic. Like I think if you're sober, you can't actually find the channel. So are you doing the voice of the pigeon or who are you?
No, I'm doing the voice of me. I'm in there too.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. That was really a stupid question. We'll fix that in post. Okay, so you're doing you and the pigeon is?
Yes, in one scene I'm doing a really splendid church revival song.
A church revival song?
Yes.
And do you sing it?
Yes, implicitly.
I think that a bar or two of that would make us very happy right now.
I kind of forgot the lines, you know.
What is it kind of like a it sounds like a
Jesus loves me, Jesus, you know.
Yeah. Okay. And I wanted to sing along, but I was almost afraid if I did, a voice would just come out, no, I don't. That's my low self-esteem. That's really cool, something like that. Like, did you ever at one point think that you'd be doing a cartoon, a kid show like that, even though it's kind of an adult-oriented thing?
Hey, no, I'm just really grateful for anything positive that happens to me. Like I said before, I've been on the dark side, and I'm kind of seeping into the light, and I kind of like this little, you know, scream of light here. So this is pretty cool.
He's got more than a stream of light. He's busy as hell. He's doing movies, he's doing TV shows, he's got the cartoon. Well, I didn't even know about the cartoon. He's got his own fight promotion, he's promoting fights.
Yeah, I forget sometimes. That's how grateful I am.
Yeah, what is the name of your company, first of all?
I Am Mike Production.
I Am Mike Production.
IMP.
And is there a website people can go to too? Because everybody is so social media these days.
Listen, I'm not social media, but I'm pretty sure it's IamMikeProduction.com or something. You know, I don't know.
Hopefully you own that, and if you don't, I'm sure you could convince somebody to give it to you. If you guys knew the process before we go, what these guys have done for me, I will always love you for. Thank you guys so much.
It's the Jim Norton Show. The Jim Norton.
And thank you guys for coming. I appreciate
The Jim Norton Show. It's the fucking Jim Norton Show. It's the fucking Jim Norton Show. It's the Jim Norton Norton Show. It's the fucking Jim Norton fucking show.
Hey, let's get a donkey in here or something, you know? I don't know.